All right, y'all, I'm back with the history of entertainment, part 3, the Holy Woods. All right, so a quick introduction on the history of film. It's a visual art form that was created using new technologies that were developed in the late 19th centuries. So motion pictures. Soon film production companies and studios were established all over the world. The first decade of motion pictures saw film moving from a novelty to an established mass entertainment industry. The earliest films were in black and white under a minute long. Many German and German-based directors, actors, writers, and others immigrated to the U.S. when the Nazis gained power, giving Hollywood and the American film industry the final edge in its competition with other movie-producing countries. The American industry, or Hollywood as it was becoming known after its new geographical center in California, gained the position it had held more or less ever since, film factory for the world. So we see the many notable film studios such as Columbia Pictures, Walt Disney's, Paramount, Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers is the one we want to focus on because they was on some shit. The company's name originated from the founding Warner Brothers, born Wansel, Warren, and Wansko-Lasser, before angelicization. Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack Warner. Harry, Albert, and Sam immigrated as young children with their Polish Jewish mother to the United States. And then we'll fast forward to their adult years. They decided to get into the entertainment industry, right? So Jack, along with his brother Sam, procured the technology for the film industry's first talking picture, the jazz singer. And the jazz singer is crazy. We'll dive into that and the deep meaning behind that. So in 1923, Lee DeForest applied for a patent to record a film. He also made a number of short experimental films, mostly of vaudeville performers. William Fox began releasing sound-on film newsreels in 1926. But in that same year, Warner Bros. Released Don Juan with music and sound effects recorded on disc. So Don Juan actually came out before the jazz singer and was actually necessary to kind of set the stage for the Hollywood magic, if you will, that the Warner Brothers was trying to put forth to the world. So what is Don Juan? What is the artistic expression that Warner Brothers wanted to get across? So the first written version of the Don Juan story was a play, The Trickster of Seville and the Stone Guest. So in this version, Don Juan is portrayed as an evil man who seduces women thanks to his ability to manipulate language and disguise his appearance. This is a demonic attribute since the devil is known for shape-shifting or taking other people's forms. Pay attention to that. And here we have Don Magic Juan. I just found it funny to play on this, and it was crazy. His record label is Avatar Records, right? All right, so let's just get back into this, though. So, boom, they set the stage for the next movie, The Jazz Singer. And the film depicts the fictional story of Jackie Rabinowitz, a young man who defies the tradition of his devout Jewish family. After singing popular tunes in a beer garden, he is punished by his father, a Hazan cantor, prompting Jackie to run away from home. Some years later, now calling himself Jack Robin, he has become a talented jazz singer performing in blackface. He attempts to build a career as an entertainer, but his professional ambitions ultimately come into conflict with the demands of his home and heritage. And to be honest, like, it's disrespectful, but it's also like eye-opening, and I understand the power that we have, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta give them their props because this was actually a well-written movie, to be honest. Like, it makes sense coming from their perspective. I mean, it's some evil shit, but it makes sense. And if you understand what these people do as far as mysticism and ritual magic, like ritual magic is like basically they have to put forth what they are doing in your face in order for it to work on you, right? So they can't be nefarious or lying about their intent of what they're doing to you. So this honestly was the best way to kind of show what they were going to do moving forward in the entertainment industry towards black people. They were going to harness their energy for themselves to make themselves better. Blackface in the film is intimately involved with Jack's own Jewish heritage and his desire to make his mark in mass American culture, much as the ethnically Jewish Jolson and the Warner Brothers were doing themselves. Jack Robin compounds both tradition and stardom. The Warner Brothers thesis is that really to succeed, a man must first acknowledge his ethnic self, argues W.T. Lamon. The whole film builds towards the blacking up scene at the dress rehearsal. Jack Robert needs the blackface as a mask of agency of his compounded identity. Blackface will hold all the identities together without freezing them in a singular relationship or replacing their parts. Seymour Stark's view is less sanguine. In describing Jolson's extensive experience performing in blackface stage musicals, he asserts, the immigrant Jew, as a Broadway star, works within a blackface minstrel tradition that obscures his Jewish pedigree but proclaims his white identity. And this is just going on to explain how the Jewish performers were adopting aspects of African American music. And according to Scott Amon, the film marks one of the few times Hollywood Jews allowed themselves to contemplate their own central cultural myth and the conundrums that go with it. The jazz singer implicitly celebrates the ambition and drive needed to escape the shtetls of Europe and the ghettos of New York City, and the attendant hunger for recognition. So basically, they wanted to come up, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with coming up, but the way they wanted to come up was off the backs of black people, literally off the faces of black people. Taking black people's energy, face, and essence and throwing it on theirs, you know what I'm saying? So on this next part, we're going to dive into the music aspect. As you can see, Warner Music Group and Roulette Records had a kind of shady character that was running things there, Morris Levy, and he was literally on some gangster shit. So we'll get into that and the current dealings that these newer labels have, which are shady as well. Next video, we're going to get deep for sure. So if you enjoyed the video, leave some comments. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a few likes and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate you guys.